Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to this live. Today we have a very, very special guest, guys. His name is Cameron. Cameron, how are you? How are you
Hey, I'm
doing
doing
today?
good. Doing
Um,
great.
Tell us, Cameron, just give us a quick intro of what you do. Tell us what you're working on. Let's just dive right into it.
Cool. So I am the host of Library Macabre on YouTube. I talk about horror books. I sometimes talk about horror movies, um, books old and new, and then I also talk a lot about Goosebumps on my channel. And then I am also an author. I wrote this book right here called Autumn Crow. It is about a town where it is like Halloween all the time. Every night is Halloween in Autumn Crow. And I am currently working on the next Autumn Crow book in the series.
Very cool, man. That book's I actually want to pick it up. Guys, if you guys is there links in the description? I'm sure there will be. Pick it up, check it out.
Yeah, it is
Um,
available on Amazon in paperback, and then it's also available on Kindle. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it's free on there. Otherwise, the
oh,
ebook's
really?
only like $2.99. Yeah.
Very cool. So, so your collection. Okay, so you've said you have a Goosebumps collection.
hmm
How long has that taken you to like collect? Like over the
I
years?
many years. I'm 28 years old, and I've been collecting Goosebumps since the books started coming out. So when I was a kid, Goosebumps was the big thing. You know, it was before Harry Potter. So you see how big Harry Potter is, and like Hunger Games. This was before all of that. Goosebumps was like Harry Potter back then. It was everywhere. Kids were all into it. There's Goosebumps toys and the books and the TV show. I was into all of it. So I would buy the books as they came out. Now, of course, the books are kind of rare. They're very collectible. They can be very expensive online. But fortunately, I was able to collect them all as they came out.
So you actually literally collected all of them, like during that time period as they were coming out. Like you would actually get the books and read the books for your own
Yep,
entertainment as a kid.
exactly. Yeah, the books. My mom would go grocery shopping, and I'd hang out in the book section, and the new Goosebumps book was always there, so I'd pick it up, and she'd buy it for me, and before long, I was able to collect all of the books. So I have all 62 original Goosebump books, and then I also have most
That's
of the other
awesome.
books because there's a bunch of different Goosebump series. So I have most of those. I'm still missing a couple, because there's so many. There's like 200 Goosebump books.
Yeah.
So I'm missing a couple here and there that I just missed when I was a
Dude,
kid.
very cool. Do you have, I'm sure you do, you have the original Slappy one, like the first Slappy book
Yeah,
with
yeah, I have
Slappy?
all
What is it called? What is it even
the Night
called? It's
Night of the Living Dummy. So there's three different Night of the Living Dummy books, and there's Bride of the Living Dummy and Slappy's Nightmare, and then all the newer ones too.
dude, that
So
is so
yeah,
cool.
I have all those.
I remember reading one of my favorite ones, the story was where you get to choose your own adventure, where you got to turn to a certain page, you're like turn to this
Yeah.
page and then you die. I remember that. That was
Mhm.
so much fun.
Yeah, I have most of those too. Those yeah, I got those when they were coming out as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, if you have any questions, we're taking questions from the chat. We're also taking questions from backstage. Fred, Alina, and Poke, they're with us here. So we will be looking out for that.
Cool. Sounds good.
What
Really
is
nice.
up,
He said he wishes he
Breedbot?
was a kid in the '90s. It was great. Being a kid in the '90s was awesome.
It really was. I was a kid in the 90s too. I think it was like the
Yeah,
best time, right? We had like
totally.
the best Disney movies. It was like golden age for Disney. Were you into Disney back
Yeah,
then?
I had like all the VHS tapes growing up, and then also like Nickelodeon had all the best shows. You had like Are You Afraid of the Dark and Cat Dog. You had Angry Beavers and all of those great shows.
Fred and Lena,
Fantastic.
what do you think about that? Do you think the 90s was the best time for kids, or
Definitely,
or now is the
definitely.
best
Definitely,
time for kids?
definitely, it
What
was
is
the
your
best time.
perspective?
There's
Really? You
someone
guys
weird in
agree?
the chat. I
Well, I
agree,
mean,
yeah.
you've got all these technology stuff nowadays, but back in those days, no one actually had technology. All they had was like cartoons and movies and stuff like that. And it would be great just to get away from all that technology for just one day. Just one day, it'll be just
You
one
mean
day.
like
It'll
all
be
the
Yeah,
you
okay.
mean like all the 3D effects and all the crazy
I mean, being
animation
born
stuff.
in the
Is that what you're
'90s,
saying?
I mean, I would be
Um,
probably be able to go to the premiere of Titanic in 1997. I would have been able to go see
yep.
Toy Story for the very first time. I would have been able to see all the Lion King, everything all came out in the '90s, and that's what I wish I would have done. But
You can act well,
obviously, in
yeah.
those days, obviously in those days, I wasn't born then, so I was born like what 20 years later, I guess, and so didn't really get to live that.
The 90s, that's when the best films were made, in my opinion.
Dude, you
I
guys are
agree.
awesome. I thought you guys were gonna go against this, but you guys are cool.
No, the originals are always the best.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
funny.
You guys know
100%.
what's going on. That's awesome. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Respect.
Respect.
Thank you guys for sharing. So, Cameron, tell us about like your process for your channel. Like, how do you like your post? Like, do you have a daily, like a schedule, weekly schedule, or like
I
how has that
do.
been? Like the growth, even the growth too on your channel.
Yeah, so I've been making videos for 10 years now. In July, it'll be 10 years. Excuse me. And channel started out mostly really small. It was just me and a webcam pretty much, and I just talk about books. And then it wasn't until really a couple of years ago when I started really just honing in on horror books and focusing on horror that my channel started doing a lot better. So now I post regularly. It's not just a hobby anymore. It's really like just part of my life now.
Yeah.
So I post 2 videos every week. I post every Sunday and every Thursday. And it's around 9 o'clock in the morning, my time. I don't know, it depends on where you live. But yeah, every Sunday, Thursday morning, um, different videos. Usually it's always something to do with books. So I'll do like bookshelf tours. I have my home library, which is what I'm recording in right now. I have thousands of books that I've been collecting like my whole life. So I have Goosebumps bookshelf tours.
Thousands.
Thousands. I can kind of spin you around here so you can see. Hopefully, I don't make you guys dizzy. But here, there's all of them. There's my light. So
Dude, that's awesome.
floor to ceiling books. I've been collecting my whole life. Instead of buying toys when I was a kid, I would buy books and movies. For Christmas, I just get books and movies. That's all I ever wanted.
What is it about a book that you like? Do you like the way it feels, like the way it smells? Are you into all that? Because I
Yeah,
know I do personally. I do
that's part of it. Yeah, just I don't really read
physically.
I don't really read digital books. I do. I guess if I have to, if a book's not released in paperback or hardcover. But I like the physical book. I like to flip through it. I like to feel the smell. Also, the stories, obviously.
Yeah.
It gets me away from my real life, and I can just go into a book and not have to worry about adult stuff going on in my own life. I can just focus on a story, and it just takes me away. Especially as
Very
a kid.
true.
As a kid, I was real lonely. Like I didn't have a lot of friends. My family was all into their own stuff. So I started reading at a really young age where I was kind of just raising myself, and books were the thing that I turned to. So Goosebumps, it may seem like, oh, it's just this, just this light little, kid series. But for me, it was something much bigger. It was like an escape.
To the story. So we got a question. Fred is like waving his hands. Fred,
This
what is up?
Oh yeah, so I have something to say and I have a question. First off, Joshua David, he wanted to ask you if you and Cameron went to school together, because that's what he said. That's not my question. That's what Joshua said. So like, are you both friends is what his question is.
Who, us? Like
Yeah.
went to school together? Did we go to school? I don't think we went to school together.
I don't think so. No,
I'm in California. He's in Ohio. Probably not.
yeah,
Most
we're on
likely not.
opposite ends of the states. But I was actually homeschooled through high school, so I didn't even go to high school. I just went to elementary school and middle school, and then after that, I'm like, you know what? I'm homeschooling.
Wow, that's kind of cool. That's fun.
And my question is, what my question is, so do you have any like other horror books apart from Goosebumps? Like, how mad are you about horrors? Like, so is there any other certain horror apart from Goosebumps that you like collecting?
Totally, man. I collect a lot of Stephen King, which is like everybody knows Stephen King, right? So that's. Are you okay?
I didn't mean to, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, Stephen King. But really, that's just a small part of my horror collection. I collect a lot of like old horror paperbacks. Hold on one second. I'm gonna grab something really quick. It's just around the corner. So
He's
a
awesome.
couple of years ago, this book came out. It's called Paperbacks from Hell. And basically, it's like a coffee table book, and it goes over a bunch of old horror books that were released in like the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. So
I just saw Jaws.
yeah, there's Jaws in there. There's all kinds of stuff, man. They even go over like a lot of the teen stuff. So this is like my Bible. It goes over all of those different books. And before this book came out, I was collecting them. And then this book came out and it just made me crazy. So I have just like an entire wall of old vintage horror paperbacks. So
that book, it helps you find the book, or it tells you about the book, and then you go get it. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, well, yeah, basically, yeah, like the author, he basically just read a ton of the books over like a year period, and he wrote this.
Yeah.
So he was able to dig and like find all these really obscure, weird horror books. Like everybody reads Stephen King. Everybody knows Stephen King and R.L. Stein.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't realize how much there is out there. So, yeah, I read this, and it put a bunch of books that weren't even on my radar before. So basically, I've been going out and trying to find like a bunch of these old paperbacks, and I have a huge collection of them now. That's a whole other thing. You know, there's collecting Goosebumps and Stephen King, and then there's collecting those. Like it's an obsession of mine.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's very cool. That's neat. I enjoy it.
Mhm.
I mean, I like it. It's very
yeah,
cool.
I do tours on my YouTube channel of my bookshelves, so you can see like all the really weird cover art. There's some really cool covers on those books. Just the artwork is cool.
Yeah, I've always been, since I was like about 7. When I was 7 years old, I watched Child's Play, the original, the very first one, and it didn't scare me. It surprisingly made me laugh a bit because, yeah, I've always been a psycho. It made me laugh a little bit, and so basically, what I did after that is I just started watching more and more horrors, and I got used to it. And then I started watching more deep ones with my mum, and it's never scared me, ever.
So you're a little bit like me. Like when I was a kid, I was scared of Chucky.
I was scared of the leprechaun.
Leprechaun. Hey, I just did a video about him too. Yeah, like Child's Play, I was scared of Chucky, but I had never seen the movies. I wasn't allowed to watch the movies. My mom let me watch them. But when I was 14, I was like, you know what? I'm finally going to watch Child's Play, and we'll see if it scares me. And I watched, and I'm like, this isn't scary at all. This is just fun. And then I think that's what really sparked my love of horror films, because before that, it was just Goosebumps and kid stuff, you know. And then after that, I was like obsessed with every kind of horror film under the sun. I realized I'm like, I don't really get scared.
Yeah.
I always got kind of scared of the leprechaun or any like short like little people that kill you, like Chucky, or it was just it was creepy. But I've always watched it. I like to watch it, you know.
I just did this video where on St. Patrick's Day where I watched all 8 Leprechaun movies in one day, and my brain like melted out of my ears. It was so much, so many movies.
You did all 8? You did a whole series? Like you watched the whole thing? Like
I
in a
watched
day?
the entire series in 12 hours, and I vlogged about it and posted a video. It was an experience.
Dude, that's cool. I gotta catch up. Like I gotta watch the old classics again, like Freddy Krueger, Leprechaun, Chuck. I mean, Chucky, I've seen it a lot of times already, but I gotta re-watch them. You know.
Yeah.
Especially if you haven't seen them in a while, and then you watch them again as you're older. It's just like a different experience.
I try to do my like annual rewatches of all of those movies just to keep them fresh. You know, they're like comfort. They're comfort food to me.
No way. That's funny. Lena, do you have it? Do you have a question? Lena, can you hear us? Lena.
Oh, sorry. No, I wasn't on yet, but it's just showing Fred on the hang on a second. No, I don't have a question. Sorry.
Do you have a question? Are you do you watch scary movies? I don't know. Do you?
No,
Chucky,
no, because then
do they freak you out?
I'm scared of animated clay characters like Coraline and the other mother. That's what I'm scared of.
Coraline? Okay, see that's not
Hey,
even what?
Coraline, that movie's has some creepy elements for sure. I will admit, it doesn't scare me, but it definitely has
It's
creepy
it
elements. And
scares me. It scarred my life.
I can
It scarred my
understand. I
life.
can understand why it would scare somebody.
Yeah, it's just
But I thought it's meant for kids. It's weird. Sometimes when some stuff is meant for kids, it's actually creepier and it creeps
Yeah,
them out.
totally.
You know?
Did you ever
creepy.
see, like Pee Wee's Big Adventure, Pee Wee Herman? That
No, I
movie.
haven't seen that one yet.
There's Large Marge in the truck where her eyes go. Bleh. That scared me as a kid, and that was a kids movie, but that scared me so bad when I was little.
Same. Pee Wee was it was a weird, scary. It was kind of scary in some parts.
Yeah,
That's just
weirdly scary.
That's
Yeah.
just big versions of clickbait.
Wait, what? Who?
That's just big versions of clickbait.
The movie Clickbait?
No,
How could it be?
if you see the kids movies and then there's actually scary elements, that's clickbait because they're not telling you about the scary elements.
I guess it works.
True. True. But
There's somebody in the chat called Lily Jones, and
yes, I
there's
could see her. I see your chat, Lily Jones.
It's Fred. It's Fred. I'm
Lily.
telling. It's Fred.
She's-
It's Fred. She's Fred. That's
Fred, are
'cause-
you impersonating another person?
because
Fred, is
It
that you?
isn't me. My other account is Lucy, remember? Like, remember when I created that Lucy account? Then I named it Jody Gaming. That's me.
No,
So
but
you're not
Fred,
Lily
I'm not,
Jones.
No, I'm not
Fred, I
Lily
can't-
Jones. I'm
I'm not
literally
falling for
having a.
your pranks.
I just asked her if she can call me to prove to him that it isn't like me, and she's denying. So I'm just gonna message her now on Instagram to prove it. Look, here's her. I don't really feel comfortable showing.
Okay. I believe
Instagram.
you.
All
Here,
right.
So okay, let's go back to some questions. So Cameron, you wrote a book. Can you tell us about it? Can you tell us what it's about?
Sure.
Tell us the process. I want to write a book, so I'm really curious.
Yeah. So this is Autumn Crow. It takes place in this town called Autumn Crow Valley, and basically this town is obsessed with Halloween. So it's basically like Halloween all the time in this book. So it's a collection of short stories, but all of the stories tie together. So there's like different characters from each story that'll pop up in other stories, so they're all connected.
Okay.
And so basically, like the town's obsessed with Halloween, but there's obviously a lot of dark stuff going on, like real monsters and stuff. So yeah, that's my book. That's Autumn Crow, and I am working on some others in the series.
So the whole town is Halloween. Like it's always Halloween. They're always like it's like Halloween
Yeah,
town, or they're always just happy there, or it's like
yeah.
evil,
It's
scary.
No, it's like a regular town. It's almost like Salem, Massachusetts, where where Halloween is kind of their shtick. They like Halloween. It's of course it's not actual like Halloween all the time, but there's always that spookiness in the atmosphere, and that's what Autumn Crow is like. So basically, they always have even at Christmas time they'll have like skeletons with Santa hats on them, just
Yeah.
as decor. So even their Christmas decorations are a little bit spooky. The people are just kind of weird there. They just really like Halloween, which is how I am. Like if you look in my apartment at any day during the year, there's always Halloween decorations around just because I love Halloween. So that's how the people in the town are. It's kind of like the town that I would love to live in, where it's just Halloween all the time.
Yeah.
You just skip all of the rest of the holidays.
Right? No, there's a lot. Yeah, a lot of people say that. It's like Halloween's
Yeah,
here. That's the best holiday. Then all the other holidays are just crap, or
exactly.
it reminds them of other things, maybe bad memories or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was gonna ask. Okay, so then there's monsters or
hmm
evil villains in this town or in this place.
Yeah, so like I said, each story ties together, but each story is also its own thing. Each one it has its
Oh,
own
that's right.
plot and its own characters. So there's different villains. There's ghosts. There's monsters. There's an evil mannequin. Like I don't know if you ever saw the video.
That's
It's
interesting.
the viral video. I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called. I Feel Fantastic. That's what the video is called. And it's like this really creepy singing mannequin. And it's a viral video. If you look up "I Feel Fantastic" on YouTube, it'll come up, and it's super creepy and unnerving. So I wrote a story about that, and that mannequin makes an appearance. So there's all kinds of
So that video inspired that creepy mannequin
inspired the story.
or the story?
Hmm.
Dude, that's cool. Sounds good, man. That sounds interesting.
Thanks.
Guys,
So,
if you want to read the story, check out the book.
That's
Link
right.
in the description below. Very, very, very cool. And you said you work on, do you actually work, you said skits, like video skits or something too?
Yeah, on my channel, I will usually incorporate every once in a while a skit into the video. Like I just recently did a bookshelf tour of all of my Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew books. I don't know if you know Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew. It was another children's series from back in the day, and I was a big fan of those. So I did a collection video of all of those books. But at the beginning, I had a skit of me like pretending to be a detective or whatever. So I don't know. Whenever I feel like it, I'm extra creative. I'll add a skit into one of my videos just to spice it up, make it a little more fun, you know.
Very cool. Would you ever want to see like some of your stories be like adapted into like a film or like a TV series or something? Like, is that?
Yeah, I would love that. I actually, a lot of the reviews for Autumn Crow have mentioned like, "Ooh, this would make a really good like a Hulu show or a Netflix show." Which,
Oh, very
yeah,
interesting.
when I wrote the stories, I was like, I wanted it to feel kind of like a TV show, so it would probably translate pretty well into something like that. I don't know if it would ever happen, but because it's kind of like out there to be like, "Oh, I hope my book will be turned into a Netflix show." Like the odds of that happening are really slim.
Just throw it out there, mail it. I mean, it got to get into their face and they'll see it, and
Right.
then it's just.
It's fun to think about. And you know, as long as the formula is there, if it adapts well on the TV, then at least there's something there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool. I mean, every author wants to see their work adapted.
Yeah, exactly. True. Fred, you have a question?
Yes, I do. First of all, here's all the Goosebumps books I've collected. Here's all of the ones I have. I mean, obviously you beat me, so I have a competitor finally. But
oh yeah, what I told
here are
Fred,
all
like,
of. Yeah, I was
nice.
kind of mad, but I mean, you're a cool guy.
Oh.
I think
well,
my
let's see him. Let's see him.
So,
I didn't see him.
So this is one of my favorites: Say Cheese and Die, and another one of my favorites: Night of the Living Dummy.
Nice.
Let's Get Invisible, the abominable snow, the abominable snowman.
Mm-hmm.
Stay out of the basement. The ghost next door. The Curse of the Mummy. I haven't read this yet. The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. The haunted car. This one reminds me of Christine a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. Here's another one of my Here's another one of my favorites. The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. This one had such a twist at the end. Such a twist.
You know that one? You guys read it? The story? What's the story about?
So there's this werewolf in a swamp, and when this boy like looks for it, he finds this like man in it, and he's all like sweaty. He has long hair and all that, and they think he's the werewolf. So he has a friend called Will, and they both think he's the werewolf. But at the end, when the werewolf like tries attacking, I've forgotten the character's name. But when the werewolf tries attacking him, it turns out Will was the werewolf the whole time. So
it's very good. The TV episode is really good at that too.
Yeah, the TV episode, I've seen it, so it's decent. I like it. And here are the final two: The Blob That Ate Everyone and The Gnome
That's
one.
Awesome.
And my question for you is: so you said that you've written a book. How much money did you make off of it?
Say a couple $1,000. I would say I'd say about two to 3,000, somewhere in there so far. I mean, it sells really well every Halloween, obviously, because it's a Halloween themed book. So my sales tend to be not quite as high during every other part of the year. But at Halloween, that's when I sell the most copies. So that's when I do the most business. So yeah, I'd say I've made so far about 3,000.
Very cool.
So,
And that just
yeah,
keeps
Very
coming
cool.
in, right? Like it's just like a consistent, well,
Exactly.
not consistent, but like
yeah,
over time, every as people purchase.
every October, that's when the spike happens. Like I look at my sales report and it's like, and then October, it's like, yeah, which is
True.
always nice to see.
Yeah,
Freaking cool.
it is cool.
Lee
Thank
Knight,
you.
Well,
Poe.
Fred, apparently you're Lily Jones. I saw your channel.
My
Fred, you're
pranks
Lily Jones.
failed.
We all know who you are.
See, no, this is the good
We
thing that
discovered
I've
you.
done. No, this is good because now I've pranked Lee Knight so many times. Now he knows that if someone, even if it isn't me, now he knows if someone ever tries to prank him, he'll know if it's a prank or not. So even if it's his mum, he'll see, he'll like get that feeling it's a prank. So I've actually evolved him.
Thank you, Fred.
You're welcome. Poke,
Guys,
you're
any
still a work
final
in progress.
questions from the chat?
From the chat, really?
I'm looking at the
I-
chat now, so I'm gonna take time to look at the chat.
Well,
I don't know.
Breedbot's a bit mad at you. Not gonna lie, Breedbot is kind of triggered.
Because
Who,
I didn't
me
see
or
his.
Joey?
Sorry, guys, if I didn't see your comments. Sorry, I'm
No,
so sorry.
Breedbot is triggered.
Triggered.
So,
That should be a horror. Somebody should make a horror book called Triggered, and then
ooh, no, me,
and they go on
no,
a rampage,
me,
like just
me.
shooting. Maybe I don't know.
Nobody
Boom, I
else.
put the link
just
to your
me.
channel, and now it's changed to Lily Jones.
Don't you? Okay, you don't have to rub it in. Okay, I'll change it back to how it was originally. But I have a question for you, Cameron.
Okay.
So, all in total, all of your collection of horrors, not just the books, all of your like horror collections, all in total, how long did that take you?
My whole life.
Your whole
I've
life,
been-
eh?
Yeah, since I was, like I think I was like 2 years old and obsessed with Goosebumps. Like I was obsessed with it before most kids. So even though I
2
couldn't
years
even like,
old? No way.
yeah, it was really popular back even when I was born. It was already.
So you
a
were
thing.
probably looking at the covers, like just
Yeah,
the
I was looking at
pictures.
the covers. I would, my mom would take me to the library and I would bypass all of the picture books and go right for Goosebumps and she would read them to me. And then basically I just learned how to read over time by looking at the words as my mom was reading to me. And then, yeah, I was obsessed with Goosebumps forever. And then,
That's awesome.
my tastes evolved. I got into like books like Stephen King and some of the more adult stuff. And I'm still collecting, and I'll probably be collecting my entire life. It'll never end.
Yeah.
Do you like apart from collecting, do you like read? Well, do you read are you actually reading through these?
Yeah,
Or
I
some of them, or
I'm a huge reader. I'm always reviewing books on my channel. So of course, I buy a lot more than I can ever read because I just buy hundreds of books all the time. Like every year, I'll buy like up 300 books. I'm also sent books for review by authors and publishers. So those are like my priority. So I try to focus on those books, and then once those are done, I can, read some other kinds of books. But right now, I mostly just focus on stuff for review.
very cool.
There's actually, if you go onto my channel, I have a couple movies. There's one called The Virus, and it's my best film. Yeah, everyone's in it. All my fans. Lee Knight's in it. Joey's in
Yep.
it, and
Banana
it's a
Gaming's in it.
yeah, everyone's in it, and it's a zombie film, and I directed it, and I had all my fans in it. The way you said earlier that it's hard to think of an ending. While I was making The Virus, what happened was I didn't know how to actually stop the zombie apocalypse while I was making the film, and it had been months, and everyone was getting more impatient, and I was freaking out. I was like, do you know what? Maybe I'll just end the film on a cliffhanger. But then it started to snow. And then I got an idea of, wait, maybe I could use snow to get rid of all the zombies. And it actually worked. It helped the ending. Like, because just picture it, right? There was like snow is obviously cold and the zombies' skin's like all rotten. So like the freezing
funny.
cold could actually like smooth the skin out more again, which would change everything. And like if you have a look at this here, I used drone shots as well for the snow as well, just because of how well it all turned out.
Oh, really cool.
So yeah,
Dang.
the movie
Legit.
went amazing. Such a good movie. I was really proud of it and all of my fans.
Is that
That's
where
awesome.
everyone's in it? Is that where like everyone
Yeah.
it has a part in it?
Joey, we still need to do a live like interviewing everyone about that. We still need to do a
Oh, that's
live
true.
about that.
That's
you keep
true. Thank you for
forgetting.
reminding me, Fred.
You're welcome.
I know. I told Fred I would do an interview of his film and like talk about stuff about the characters and stuff.
And
but
yeah,
guys,
really
let's wrap it up.
Right,
We're
let's
at
wrap
30
it up.
minutes.
I just
30
want to
minutes
say.
live.
I just want to say.
Hey, Starface
another thing.
Organics, how are you? Guys, Starface.
Oh, hey, Starface.
She's
How
my
you
good
doing?
friend. How are you?
Hey, Joshua David, we didn't think it was you. All right, just make that clear. We didn't think it was you. All right.
And then guys, be nice to Joshua David, please. He says like, "Hey Joey, can you tell everyone to be nice to me?" Guys, be nice to Joshua David.
Joshua
Excuse
David,
me.
it ended.
I've been asking Joey all of your questions just for you. I'm being nice to you. I just want to say,
True.
Cameron, if you ever like visit mine and Lee Knight's channel, when like normally we don't even do this on purpose. This is just all automatically. Whenever we're about to create a movie, we both like upload new movies sort of around the same time, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, me and Lee Knight, we both sort of do the same content. Like we both create cool movies. Some of them are scary. I mean, Lee Knight's, in my opinion, his are better because he has better stories. But like, I'd say mine has better like camera
They're both equally
actions.
good.
They're both equally
good.
Well, that's great. Yeah, you guys can collaborate.
Who has more views?
And
I'm
use
just
your
kidding.
strengths to make a better project. That's all.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Would you like to know what makes my movies a tiny bit better? Is because I allowed Lee Knight into my movies, but have I been in any of his? No, I haven't.
Lee Knight, why haven't you invited Fred?
I'll see if I can work you into the nightmare. I'll see if I can.
Yeah, see if you can. Wowzers.
That's awesome that you guys are making movies, though. That's really cool. Keep doing it.
Hey, Cameron,
practice. Yeah.
You've been epic. You've been epic, man. Thank you so much for being here. It's been so fun talking to you.
Sorry I wasn't able to come for the full thing because the internet was bad, but I heard some things and they were pretty good.
Yell at the hotel, not yourself.
Hey, it's cool. Yeah, it was really cool talking to you guys. I'll definitely check out your channels, check out some of your films. It looks like you guys are doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised by the different camera angles. I was like, when I was making videos, when I was like your guys' age, they were nothing like that. They were just really crappy movies. So you guys are doing awesome.
I'm literally in my office right now as well for a change. I'm normally in my room.
Screen?
Yeah.
And I'm in a hotel, so that's why the internet's bad.
Get a green screen.
That's weird. Hotels should have great internet.
Yeah.
It did have great internet, but then I had to connect to my dad's hotspot, so then it would be okay.
That's probably why. Anyways, guys, any final thing here?
Oh, I want to say one more thing.
How about this? Final words. Let's all say our final words, and we'll end this live.
All right. I want to go first because I'm obviously the first Knockout fan that ever joined. No, I feel mean saying
go for
that.
it, Fred.
Okay, everyone. I want to say, Joshua, thank you again for being here. It's been my pleasure meeting you. I'll comment on the live when we're done, just so you definitely know what channel to go on to. And my final announcement is, everyone, go and watch Today I Grew Up's new episode because I've been in that as well.
Oh my God, Fred! He's allowing me in all the time.
I think Breitbot was pretty angry because he wanted to be in it and he didn't get to be in it. So I think that's why he's raging a little bit. But yeah, again, thanks everyone for having me, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.
Thank you, Fred. Lee Knight.
See you guys. I just want to say one thing. Fred is that guy right there. That's Lily Jones right there.
Yeah, you're doing good, aren't you?
We all know now.
Yeah, and also, Breitbot, calm down. Okay, see you guys.
Goodbye.
later night. Poke, do you want to say
All right.
anything?
No, I'm gonna
I know,
stay till backstage.
I know you were there, but Poke,
Poke.
any final words before we end this live?
I just want to say sorry I couldn't talk a lot. I was recording a bit for the course. So yeah.
No worries, man.
Cool, man.
Speaking of the course, I got the box.
Nice. We will talk
Right.
about that backstage.
Let's
All
end.
right,
I'm
guys?
gonna end in a pose. Let's like.
Same.
See you
we
guys
should all
later.
end in just-
Let me just say one last thing, actually.
Cool.
Cameron, thank you so much for joining live. It was fun. It's cool. I'm a big fan. I love horror. That's what Knock Eye's all about. Actually, that's kind of what I'm trying to go towards. Is just be more like a Goosebumps YouTube channel with my own characters one day, hopefully. Right now it's Woody. Everyone loves Woody, but hopefully my own toys and my own like scary stuff later down the line. But anyways,
Awesome.
thank you so much for joining.
You're welcome, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It was
For
really
sure.
fun.
Cool.
All right.
See you guys later. Thank you guys for everyone who was watching. See you guys later.